Mute is directed by Duncan Jones and it stars Alexander Skarsgård and it's now streaming on Netflix. The film is set 40 years in the future in Berlin and Leo, a mute bartender, has one reason and one reason only for living. And that is his girlfriend who one night mysteriously disappears. And on the search for his girlfriend, Leo goes deeper into the city's underbelly, encountering the city's gangsters in an effort to find out what happened to his missing love. I was extremely excited for this film because I'm a huge fan of Duncan Jones with Moon and Source Code, and this supposedly being a spiritual sequel to those. I can tell you, the references and Easter eggs are obvious. They are not many. These stories don't find each other in the same timeline, but you can tell they are in the same universe, at least as far as Moon is concerned. Pay very close attention to each frame and you will be able to tell where the references are. The film looks beautiful. This is absolutely a neo-noir drenched in neon colors and lights, and it looks absolutely amazing. This world looks dreary, it looks lived in, it looks dirty and grounded in reality because he does not use levitating cars or immensely advanced technology. He uses some advancements that are not present in our world. We see some semblance of the elements that are in this film. And the film absolutely follows tropes of noir film. Leo is a very stoic, very stern, very silent type of guy who goes on the search for a missing person, in this case his girlfriend. And Alexander Skarsgård plays him beautifully. There are a lot of nuances that he brings to the role I didn't even know he was capable of, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that he was. Only difference here is that he is not a detective, so the journey to find clues to find his girlfriend is really not easy, and he doesn't know exactly what to do. And due to the fact that he is a mute person, in the future, as we see happening right now as technology keeps on evolving, you need your voice to do a lot of things, to communicate with machines and whatnot, and Leo finds difficulties in that because he does not get along with people. And so he finds himself on opposite sides of the many people he encounters in trying to find the whereabouts of his girlfriend. There are two surgeons who are working for the gangsters in the city in exchange for IDs because they are Americans living in Berlin, they have been in the war, and those surgeons are played by Justin Theroux and Paul Rudd. I've always liked Paul Rudd as an actor. I love him in comedies. I was extremely surprised to see how good he was in Ant-Man and believable playing a superhero, but if I did not love Paul Rudd before, I would love him because of this. He is so great in this film. He goes to so many levels. I had no idea he could, and this is an extremely interesting character, an extremely damaged character, and very twisted in his very unique way. And Paul Rudd gives him so much life. There's a lot of charisma, but a lot of antagonistic nature in him. But you can't help but be magnetized by Paul Rudd. And he's just that great. I want to see Paul Rudd in different roles besides Ant-Man and comedies after watching Mute. Duncan Jones shows that he can do great, and I mean great world building. We just had Black Panther and that film had excellent world building. Everything in here comes alive so well too. Mute builds this very realistic world that, yes, can have some comparisons drawn to Blade Runner, I should tell you, but it feels like a world of its own. It doesn't feel like something that was derived from Moon, like something that was derived from Blade Runner, like something that was derived from Ghost in the Shell. It has its inspirations for sure, you cannot escape that, but the world that we find ourselves in, this Berlin, feels very realistically so what a future Berlin could be. And you guys know I love my neon colors, I love my future sci-fi movies, I love my mysteries, I love my noir films. And that's what this movie falls a little bit flat. The thing is, there are several different stories going on. And in a movie like this, you expect all the stories to connect. Without spoiling anything, I can tell you, these stories don't connect at all. I found myself struggling to care about what really happens at the end of this film. I felt compelled by Leo, who clearly loves this woman. He lives for her, by her, to do everything for her. And at the end of the film, I found myself struggling to feel anything because we barely get to know her. We know her as well as the movie presents her to us. We know her from the moment this movie starts to the moment she disappears. Throughout the film we find out little things here and there, but they feel so superficial. There are so many threads in connecting all the stories in this film that do not get referenced, do not get explained whatsoever, and they do not connect at all. One of the big reveals in this film, and again, I'm keeping this spoiler free, I didn't care whatsoever. I didn't get why it was a big reveal, because everything I thought about this world and about the characters in this world and their motivations, after that reveal, I felt exactly the same. Nothing changed. I felt compelled because I saw a man who truly loved a woman, but I felt nothing for this woman, so I myself was not invested in finding this woman. I was just invested for the sake of Leo. I wish I could tell you Mute was fantastic and another great film to add to the library of Duncan Jones and his career, but unfortunately this story is just too messy, a bit too convoluted, and it lacks reasons to care. It lacks compelling elements and enough threads to connect all the stories, and unfortunately, despite good directing, a great world that was created here, some very good acting, I really feel like whether you watch Mute or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of Mute, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Were you also disappointed? Do you think it's a bad movie? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what was your favorite reference to any of Duncan Jones's other movies, and what is your favorite Duncan Jones movie? Thank you so much for watching. You geekies are the best. I'll be back on Sunday with my Captain America the Winter Soldier review. Can't wait to see you there. And so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!